Hey, I'm ElusiveKev, Mr. Cole, and welcome back to TT Ottoman Ride on the Edge as we're in Wales around the Super Hillside circuit for 4 laps, and we've got a couple of opponents in this mass start race as we're against the Kawasaki of Neil Coney, and then we've got the Ferb on a fellow Honda. So let's see what the Ace can do around this 8-kilometer long circuit. So we are revving up at the start. Trying not to really have a nice smooth getaway. We've just got 2 opponents though, so hopefully we won't be as chaotic as last time out around the Triangle Raceway. So we're already going into the back of one of our opponents, already up to second. You see the leader in front. Need to go through the village, are we here? We've all got to get it down to second. Clip that apex. Now, I can't remember if we've ridden around this circuit before. There's a bit of a bump. Probably have, because it looks kind of familiar already, but then it kind of looks like that section from the Isle of Man as well, from the mountain course. So I don't remember these tire walls though, so maybe we haven't been round here before. Or remember this type of corner though, as we get into it with first. Robin is racing even on motorbikes. You know, not preferable though. As on those motorbikes, they're very exposed humans in leathers. I think it's trying to go side by side into the right, going to back off as third is way behind. And we have got 3.5 laps here. I imagine around 3.5 laps is going to take 3 to 4 minutes each lap. We're approaching halfway mark on this opening lap, so we don't have to battle too hard on this opening lap with the leader. Just try and make it through in one piece. Relearn this circuit, or learn this circuit for the first time. And then let's see what we can do on the second or third lap, and then on the fourth hopefully we can cool down because we're in the lead by a country mile. Just like last time out around the Triangle Raceway. So we're coming towards a very tight hairpin. Got to get our braking done. We're probably going to lose some time going into this hairpin because we've got to brake very cautiously. Especially how this rear gets out, but that's a nice hairpin actually. We caught up. I thought it would be a bit slower. Now is this circuit based on a real life circuit? As the Triangle which I mentioned last time out, which we rode round, I was wondering if that was based on a world circuit the first time we went round there. And it definitely does look like the Northwest 200 circuit. I was wondering about the Ulster Grand Prix as well, but it doesn't quite look like that. So I remember this type of corner. Maybe we have gone round this circuit before. Did first crash as we inherit the lead through that right-hander. But then I don't remember a circuit having these kind of S-like bends near the end of the lap, so I don't think it's this. I'm just confused with the Isle of Man with the mountain course. You see Lee going on to the second lap. Go towards the first corner, get down to fourth. Dab in the brakes as well. I think we can just get away with engine braking. Definitely can't do it into this right-hander though. Definitely have to get it down to second. Clip that apex, get underway. As also last time, I did not have the microphone up loud. Do apologise for that. Settings just changed randomly for this and the 2 Supercross videos recorded for this week, so I hope it sounds a bit better now with my voice kind of on top. It's kind of how I want it to be recorded. Like a music track, we have the vocalist on top. And that's what I like. That's how I like to record my music and these videos. Of course, it makes it a bit clearer as well, even though sounds are pretty nice in this game. The engines, I wouldn't say they're horrible, I wouldn't say they're bad. I'd say they're pretty good. Not the best sound I've ever heard, but still, you've done a decent job there, Kiloton. So we're trying to gun it here, but kind of want to lift off slightly, just be slightly cautious. As you're going to the left hand, you can definitely go quicker though in that section, and in for the right. You can definitely floor it in 4th gear. And then we got this kind of back straight, heading towards that tight hairpin. As now we build a speed, everything's becoming a blow as you approach 190 miles per hour. And now get it slowed down to around 30? 35, and it's like 33 at its slowest point. But you'll see that we've got over the rest already. It's a shame there's only 2 other riders in this race. Could have been interesting if the battle we had the lead on that opening lap if there were other riders there to battle with. To go through the left-hander. So yeah, this race again might be a bit lonely now that we're in the lead in the ascendant position. This last time the Honda Invitational. That was a pretty good battle in the last race. I wonder if we have 3 races this time around. I couldn't go back and see how many races we had to do, unfortunately, once we accepted the event. But we will see at the end of this race. So you go over the start-finish line again into the second half of the race. We've got a handsome lead, and that time saw around 3 minutes, just under 3 minutes. So actually a bit quicker than I expected, but again, all these road courses are mightily fast. Let's go through right-hander. You know, the super bikes around the mountain course, the other man course, they can average around 120 miles per hour. I think it's that time, 130 average. We're going to go over 200 miles per hour around there. And that's what all of these kind of fictional courses are based on, and the other road racing events, which are highly fast as well, very quick. So yeah, massive respect to the riders who do this, the road racing riders. I'm very much looking forward to the events this year. The Northwest 200 also Grand Prix with TT Isle of Man at the end of the year, the Macau Grand Prix, or Grand Prix of Macau. I forget how they word that. Now, those are the main events that I kind of keep an eye on. So we go through with a right-hander. And I think the BBC actually shows the Northwest 200, if I remember correctly, or at least has pretty good coverage of it in May, I believe that is. Hopefully it's shown during my birthday week, because I'm off work that week, so I'll be able to catch all the event. So we come in very hot into the hairpin. This time just down to 37 miles per hour. We'll make it nice and smoothly through. As you can see, the windscreen getting some dirt on it. Again, really do love that little thing there that just adds to kind of the realism. Even though this isn't the most realistic game, I would say. The design of the Isle of Man circuit though is fantastic. All these fictional circuits are pretty damn good. Bikes are pretty nice to look at. As I said, sounds are decent. Handling's a bit all over the place at first. But once you get used to it, it's alright. Again, it's not the best thing. You know, braking seems to be a bit of a concern. Weight transfer as well. You've got to be careful not to overdo it. Very easy to. So we clip the grass going on to the final lap of this race. And that time was around 2:45. Hope we can go a bit quicker on this final lap or just ease it down. Like I said at the beginning of the race, maybe just ease it down. You've done the hard yards. Now you've got the easy one of the last 8 kilometers here. And yeah, these events are fantastic. rarely get road racing bike games. Of course, you've got the MotoGP games every year. We've had World Superbikes be consistent as well in the past on consoles. But I have a road racing game. We've got to cherish games like these, even though they perhaps don't turn out as well as we want. It's just fantastic to have the opportunity to play round the TT Isle of Man course. And the only times I've seen that previously is mostly in mod tracks and say Grand Prix Legends. There's a short version of the Isle of Man track. The full version's been worked on by one guy. It's taken him 15 years, I think, so far. He's still working on it, and he's almost completed the whole Isle of Man course over those 15 years. One guy. Absolute hats off to his dedication. And I can't wait to play the full trek in Grand Prix Legends. I will definitely try and install that game again if I can find the disc into the PC and play around it. But yeah, we've got to maybe appreciate these types of games a bit more. It's like with the sim racing in the moment. You've got sim racing titles coming out all the time. And only a few years previously, it was a bit more niche. It's still niche within a niche, but now you've got so much choice with the likes of Project Cars 2, Assetto Corsa, R-Factor 2, iRacing, Automobilista. Then you've got the titles that are kind of on the edge, such as WRC7, Dirt Rally, MotoGP, F1 2017, or the F1 games. No, fantastic choice. And then, of course, GT Sport and Forza Motorsport, even though I said they're a bit more towards the arcade side. There's arcade way too much speed into that right-hander. You know, you got to appreciate those more sim titles, I feel. Even though they do have issues, you got to, you know, rightly call them out on the criticism sometimes. Especially iRacing's kind of pricing structure still seems a bit too expensive sometimes, but then the community it's built, the online racing it's built as well is fantastic. As we win by almost 2 minutes ahead of the Kawasaki with the Furb in last. So we get 9 points for winning, 6 to second, 4 to third. As the fastest that time was a 2:46.5. Pretty good. That's what we can do in the second race, I'm guessing we're going to now. So we are at the second event then. As we're up from first this time. Hopefully it's not as lonely as that first race though, for these 4 laps. And this hillside circuit. As we do hold on to second at the start, don't fall back to third like I would have expected. As we have a little look for the lead. We've already got the lead. Third is already dropping back. But oh, this is a good battle back from second. Trying to go around our inside actually. We were around the outside. It looks like we're holding on just as we approach the mess bends. Hit down to 5th. And down to 3rd. So just about hold on to the rear and really away in the lead. As that's a bumpy right-hander as well, that 3rd gear corner. Don't really want to be carrying speed through it, so easy to unsettle the bike. Cause yourself some issues, but you got away with it there. So let's see what we can do around this 4-lap event then, as you've got clean air. See if we can do this a bit quicker than the first race, shall we? And I can continue rambling about games like these. I would argue this game is not a sim because of the handling model, but it's close everywhere else. I'd say it's pretty good in most areas, this game. It's just maybe our opponent's a bit blinkered. But that's perhaps what you would expect from a TT game predominantly. With these mass start events. Haven't tried online yet. Definitely on the list. So we'll go a bit wide. But we're surviving just. on this opening lap. That's as close to crashing as you can probably get. But still stay upright. Very lucky on his opening lap, so I don't want to be carrying that much speed into that hairpin. Just drop it down to 5th, just lift off slightly. This is what we're going to do in most corners though, just lift off slightly, get it down to 5th, or 3rd, or 4th. It's only really a couple of braking zones, that hairpin, this corner, then that 3rd gear, bumpy corner as well, and then that corner that leads through the village at the start as well. Those are the only 4 corners I think you have to brake for around this whole lap. All the rest are about rolling off the throttle in 5th gear. And building the speed up to 6th and over 150 miles per hour as we cross the line onto the 2nd lap. Open lap done in 2:55. So already under the 3-minute barrier. As we are really going to push this race, we're going to have some fun on this bike. As I haven't really done a race where I've really pushed it the whole event, so let's see what this is like then, and survive I mean. So let's see what it's like in this race, as I feel pretty comfortable around this track already. After that 4-lap refresher or learning course we had in that first race. Let's drop it down to 5th. Get on the brakes, down to 3rd. Careful of those bumps, don't really on the exit this time. Did nicely enough. No doubt we can beat that 2:46 we did in the first race. Especially as you can hold it up virtually full throttle through that right hand, even though you go downhill, there's a couple of bumps as well. And really build the speed up, which we're doing once again. Towards the left-hander. Towards this far chicane. Let's get down in 5th. You can see this time just hold it in 5th gear rather than get it down to 4th. Just keeping that high gearing and much faster than the speeds over 120 miles per hour through that section. And there towards the hairpin again. This time not going to try and outbrake ourselves and be too heavy. The brakes as well. Still got to treat those brakes like an egg. Just gently push them. As you get it down to a minimum speed of 40 miles per hour now, that's increasing. Not sure a minimum speed of 50 would suffice through that corner, but 40 seems to be pretty good. As you lift just before we go down that rise. In 5th gear, as that corner's deceptively tight as well. You can tell that around most of the fast corners. Deceptively tight. So now we go into the right-hander, which is definitely tight. Get down to 2nd gear, just easing the bike into the apex. Now at the end of this lap, just rolling in 5th gear through most of these corners. And building the speed up towards that start-finish line. So here we go. Cross it on to the 2nd half of the race, onto the 3rd lap. Oh, and that lap time was quick. I think it was under 2:40. That's what we like to see. It's maybe got to up the difficulty as well, especially for these mass start races. But we're looking at for next season. Still got one event in this season on the Super Sport. We're also next to jump up to the Superbike level as well. I enjoyed our time on this Honda Super Sport bike. It's been a dream to ride. Got good all-rounder, really. Good speed. Good fun to ride on. Good acceleration, handling. Got all the boxes ticked that you want. And that's most important. It's led the Ace to winning most of the time. We've had the odd event where we haven't done that, but let's say I think 70% of the time, the Ace has won in his first season of road racing. Now if we can build up towards the TT, of course, the TT events, the Super Sport and Superbike. Disappointed not to see a Super Stock bike in here. But we are going to see sidecars coming in May as a free update. Can't wait for that. We'll try that out. And fantastic to see it's a free update as well. So often you see with games nowadays, it's going to be, oh, it's going to be a paid add-on. A nice job from Kiloton and Big Ben. Make sure it's coming part of the game as a free package, as a free add-on. It's the exit hairpin. I think minimum speed was around mid-40s then, so we are increasing it all the time. It's definitely in a very good rhythm around this track. This is probably the most at home I felt around the track so far in this game. Even ahead of that Scottish crack old Blair, which we visited a few times. Around the triangle as well. Around the sections of the TT course we've done. The mountain course. It's all a bit wide. Oh, survives again. Getting too comfortable. That leads to mistakes, and we've done it again. Lucky in a slow speed corner as well. So 2 times where we've almost fallen, there's been that tight hairpin and then that tight right-hander. So the bike stayed up, right when we scraped the windscreen a bit. But let's keep the concentrate up on this final lap then. We've had another warning. I'm not sure it'd be 3rd time lucky. Especially if it's in a far section. It's all very nice through that section. Nice and smooth on the power and the braking. I've seen the biggest adaptation just to road racing from mostly circuit racing to MotoGP games. It's just been getting used to treating these roads as a circuit. It's very easy to get kind of nervous and see all these rocks, see these walls, see these trees, outposts, curbs everywhere, and just see it as obstacles you've got to stay well clear of. Instead of actually riding these tracks as a circuit and actually use that curb, and as I said, sometimes to put your knee down if you're a racer, if you're riding the bike, and treat that as curbing as you would on a circuit, or just use the trees as kind of brake markers or points of interest, and just learn to just get your bike near the bay or near the rock face or near the tree without clipping it. Once you get over that little hurdle of adapting, it's just like riding, you know, a normal circuit. Like riding around Assen, like riding round Beer Island. Look at that, building a speed over 190 miles per hour. We can almost lap 3rd. That's absolutely ridiculous in a 4-lap race. What has 3rd been doing? Is that the Ferb, my fellow Honda at the back? The Kawasaki in 2nd? Probably. So yeah, just getting over that. That's perhaps been the biggest thing to learn, and that's why you've seen so many outtakes in the early episodes. But now, just treating these new courses or new circuits to learn where are the braking points, where can I maybe be a bit quicker and get away with something, where can I not. You know, it's just a normal circuit, even though you're on a road and going mostly over 150 miles per hour most of the time, even on a super sport bike. As you come to the last section, maybe we've got to slow down. I don't want to be taken out at the line by 3rd. As we do lap them, that is absolutely insane. As we cross the line in 1st again. And we win by over 3 minutes ahead of the Ferb on the Honda. It's actually the Kawasaki we lapped, was it? They were separated by just 11 seconds. Or was that secondary lapped? Yes, because fastest lap time is 2:37.3 from us. So we did that, the other 2 competitors in this race. And we get 18 points while they're tied on 10. And we get another victory. As well, that bank balance is rocketing up 63,000 now as we look at the financial report for September. Bit of debt, I'll debit there, a bit of entry fee cost, maintenance as well, but prize money has been very good to us. We can definitely afford a super bike now for next season. We just got to choose the right one. Maybe got to look through kind of performance stats for each manufacturer and see which ones we can choose for next season. But that is fantastic to see though, as we have got one event to go this season, the 24th of October, another Honda Invitational. Next time out. I hope you enjoyed this run through Wales. I hope you enjoyed the lesson about appreciating these type of games. Not, still hold them to answer, but just appreciate that people are making these type of games. And as I said, a niche market. Some of these kind of more sim titles I like, and titles like this for the TT Isle of Man. It's just for folks like me who are kind of a big fan of motorsport or a big fan of bike racing. That is not a big audience in the grand scheme of things, but there's still 1,000 people there as the audience, and I've been enjoying this game. Hope you have as well. Let me know in the comment section below if you have too, and if you're playing this game as well and enjoying it as much as I am. Definitely am now. I'm in the swing and things with this game, but I'll be back next time for the final event of the first season. Thanks for watching. I'll see you then. So y'all revving it up there at the start. Let's hope we get a clean getaway. There's Lonia races at first event. Fuck.